What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. First of all, today we are doing our first official holiday season video of the year. I have a little holiday version of my background going. Hold on, wait a second. Let me show you something. You ready? All right, I'm not gonna have those blink for the whole video because it'll be really annoying, but I just want you to know that they do blink. Anyway, so today I am here to do some swatches, a first impression, and a look with the ColourPop Holiday Collection. Now, I don't have the entire collection. I purchased this myself, so I really just purchased the things that I thought looked most interesting to me because I'm very familiar with ColourPop's stuff, but I have not tried their pressed eyeshadow palettes yet. I've only tried the individual pressed shadows, so I thought it would be interesting to take a look at the Chasing Rainbows palette. I love a chunky glitter, so I wanted to try out the Glitterally Obsessed glitter gels. These are, as I'm sure you heard because there was some drama surrounding it, these are very similar to the Lemonhead LA glitter gel. I have one of those, and I actually did like a couple swatches on my arms of these. They are kind of different. I wouldn't say that they are an exact dupe for Lemonhead by any stretch of the imagination. What I did for my last video, which was the James Charles Morphe palette video, I did 3 looks, and then for each look I did like a little creative twist on it. Today I don't really think that I want to do 3 looks because we're going to be here for a little while anyway, because I'm going to swatch these and we're going to play with them a little bit. But I do want to do a look and then add a creative twist at the end, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make a look, I'll make it complete so that you could wear it out of the house, do what you want, wear it to a holiday party, and then I'm going to take it to like a little bit more of a creative level like afterward, so you guys have options if you like. And as usual, when I do like a longer video, what I always like to do is leave little timestamps in the description down below for you guys. So if you only want to see me swatch the glitters, cool, timestamp for that. If you only want to see me do the normal look, cool, there's a timestamp for that. And if you want to see the more creative look, then cool, you can see that too. Before we get started swatching the glitters, I did notice that these do say on them that they're for body use only. Now, I don't really see myself using these on my body on a regular basis. So I don't know what to do because I want to use them on my eyes, but I know that I'm not supposed to. So what I might do is break the rules and use them on my eyes anyway, but you guys should know that especially with glitters, it's very, very important that you know when something is not eye safe because getting them in your eye can be very damaging, especially with glitters. With eyeshadow, it's usually not a big deal because it's usually just a staining issue, but with glitter, it's a little different because you can scratch your eyes with them. I might do a little bit of experimentation on my lids with one of the smaller glitters. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to swatch them first and see what I think before I make that decision. But I wish that I knew that actually before I purchased these because I don't think I would have bought them if I knew they weren't eye safe because I'm not really going to get a hell of a lot of use out of just a body glitter by itself. So that's the first part of my review on that. Before we get started, please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking a second to do it because that really helps me out and I always appreciate it. I know I say that every time, but I really do appreciate it and it really does help my channel. And every little tiny bit that you guys do to help my channel really makes a huge difference for me. So thank you in advance. Also, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe because I would love to have you around for more videos. And the best way for you to do that would be to subscribe so you know when I'm uploading. And also, if you want to, you could turn on the notification bell. No, that's a lot to ask, but if you feel like it, go ahead and do it. Now that that's all out of the way, we can just jump in and start with the first thing, which is swatching these glitters. The first shade I bought is a pink shade. This is called Adventure of the Stars. I'm not gonna make the swatches into like a montage the way I usually do today, just because there's only 4 shades in them, so it would be like a quarter of a song and that'd be weird. Okay, Adventure of the Stars looks like that on the inside. It is very like multicolored and very interesting and cool. I actually really like this color a lot, the way it looks in the pot. If you're not familiar with these types of glitters, they look like this. They're very like gooey jelly. Way back when I was like in high school, which was 10 million years ago at this point, there used to be a tube glitter from Ricky's NYC, which is like, that was like my makeup store back in the day when I lived in New York. Me and my friends used to go and get like all the crazy makeup and the crazy big fake eyelashes from Ricky's, and they had these glitter tubes that were exactly like this stuff, except it was a squeezy tube, and it reminds me so much of that. That's Adventure of the Stars on my finger. Totally got some under my nail, but whatever. And that's how it looks on my arm. This is the color Starfire. It's a little bit smaller of a glitter and it's a little bit more in the lavender family. Also very, very pretty though, and also very multicolored. That's how it looks scooped out on my finger. And there it is on the arm. That one is definitely more like sheeny as opposed to the first one, which was like chunky glittery. I mean, realistically, that's still a chunky glitter too, but the first one was like super chunk, like chunkalicious. The next one is kind of a greeny orange duochrome. This one's called Dream About Me. That's what it looks like on my finger. And there it is on my arm. And finally, this is the last one I purchased. It's the kind of gold shade. It also has a little bit of a hollow glitter in it. I noticed that all of these seem to have a little bit of hollow in there. And this one is called Outside the Lines. That's what it looks like on my finger. And that is it on my arm. And that one kind of has more of a chunkiness to it than I was expecting it to from in the pot. The next item that I purchased was the Chasing Rainbows Pressed Powder Palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. I don't know if this is screaming holiday to me, but I feel like with the combination of glitter, we can definitely make it a little bit holiday festive. I like that companies are kind of taking it outside of the box and doing different stuff for holiday, but at the same time, I find it difficult to think of like holiday festive looks when it's like more bright colors, because that says summer and spring to me. I don't know. Let me know in a comment down below what you think. Do you find colorful palettes like this to be like festive for holiday, or would you more consider the traditional colors to be like appropriate for holiday? I don't know. I just want to know what you guys think about it, because I like these kinds of palettes for holiday, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if they're making me feel the right way. But that being said, I think this palette looks really, really pretty, and I have an eye look in mind that I think is gonna be lovely. So let's just get started on that. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put down just a light transition shade. I'm going to go into this medium pinky nude shade here called Woke. Fluff that through my crease just really lightly to get a little bit of color down and have something to start blending into. I am already noticing that this color is way more vibrant and a lot more pigmented than I was expecting it to be from what it looked like in the pan, so that's cool. Next, I'm gonna pick up my MAC 268S brush. Literally every time I use this brush in a look, you guys ask about it in the comments. This is a synthetic brush from MAC as part of their synthetic line, and it's just a big angle brush. I will try to find a link to it and put it in the description with everything else. It is my absolute favorite for creating winged looks with eyeshadow. So I'm gonna go into the shade Bring It, and I'm going to pack some of that color evenly onto both sides of this angle brush, and I'm gonna use the shape of the brush to stamp a wing down along the edge here. And then I'm going to stamp that up like right above my crease line to create a wing shape that kind of goes along with the shape of my lid. See how easy that is with this brush? It's just like a couple of motions and it's done. Now, because this says it's a pressed powder palette, I'm assuming that that means that most of these mattes are pressed pigment shades, which tells me that I should work with them by packing them down and then blending out the edges very carefully, which is also how I use the James Charles Morphe palette. If you haven't seen that video yet, by the way, and you would like to, I will link it here on the screen. And I'm gonna go back into the shade Bring It, this time on a MAC 220S brush. This is like a little flat detailer brush. It's great for packing, especially if you want to pack something into a smaller area, which is what we're doing right now. And I'm just gonna pack that into the outer portion of that shape we created with the larger brush and just fill it in. I'm gonna kind of blend that into other colors, but that's the shape that I want out toward the end more. So far, I'm super impressed with the pigment in this color, by the way. I'm gonna go into the shade Prism, which is this dark off blackish brown color on the end here on that same brush. I just cleaned it off on a color switch sponge in between. Prism almost has like a little bit of a purple color to it actually, now that I'm looking at it under the bright lights. And I'm gonna use that to darken up the very outer edge of that wing. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Manifested here, which is like a matte magenta with a little bit of glitter embedded in it. Doing the same brush again, because this brush is working very well for these small areas, and I've just cleaned it off on a color switch sponge in between. I'm just gonna keep using it because if it's working, then I'm gonna keep using it. Take that shade, I'm gonna pack it down next to Bring It, which is that teal shade, but I'm not gonna try to blend them together because they're very different, and I'm going to use kind of like an in-between shade to mesh them better. And to blend those two together, I'm gonna tap over the area where they meet with this purple shade Keep Cool. I just got so much eyeshadow on my face. Okay, so when I was blending, I accidentally brought a little bit too much of that color into the inside, but that's okay because we're gonna work on the inner corner a little bit differently. Anyway, I am going to go into the shade Blurred Lines, which is very, very similar to one of my favorite shades from the Nabla Soul Blooming palette that's called Honey Drip. It's like a hunky chunky kind of shimmery goldish white shade. And I'm going to pick that up on a flat brush and wet it with some Fix Plus. I'm just gonna take that and pack that into the inner corner and blend that up over where I brought in that too much purple there. On a pencil brush, I'm going to pick up a little bit of the shade Wish List, and I'm just gonna tap that over where the pink color is meeting that goldish shade. And just sort of tap back over it with the flat brush again. Okay, now I am going to try a little bit of Starfire on my eye. Please know that you are not supposed to do this. Do not put any non-eye safe glitter on your eye on account of me, but I just don't know where else I'm going to put it. So I'm going to try a little tiny bit, and when I remove it, I'm going to be extremely careful. Picking up a little bit of it on that same brush, I'm going to push it onto the back of my hand to sort of spread it out more evenly before I bring it to the eye area, because that's usually what I do with the other glitter gels. And I'm just gonna press it over where that turquoise starts to meet that pink shade. Okay, that's actually super pretty, and I'm like kind of really into it. Okay, so now that my top lids are done, first of all, I'm shookington at how nice this palette is. I've never used their palettes before. I've only used the individual pressed shadows and the individual Super Shock shadows, and this is so good. Now for my waterline, I want to use like a similar color to we used on the outside. I'm gonna go in with the Urban Decay 24/7 pencil in the color Deep End. I know I use this pencil a lot, but it's a great color, so what are you gonna do? And on a MAC 219 pencil brush, I'm going to go back into the shade Bring It, and I am going to use that to smoke out my lower lash line a little bit. Not too smoky, not too crazy today. And now if you notice, the underneath side here is not exactly perfect yet. That's okay, because we're gonna meet it with our lower lash line anyway, so we're gonna just like reshape it as we need to. I'm gonna grab an ALLURA flat brush and go back into that nice deep shade Prism. And I'm gonna use that to darken the outer portion of the lash line and obviously connect that into the wing that we made earlier. I went and finished the eyes with the House of Lashes ALLURA Light Lashes, and now I'm going to add a lip. So today I want to use something I actually haven't used since I reviewed it, but I really liked it, so I want to use it again. This is the Urban Decay Metallized Lipstick from the Naked Cherry collection in the color Devilish. I'm going to apply that over the MAC liner in the shade Beet. I've realized that's a lot of shininess, but this is a holiday look after all, and shiny equals festive. And this is the more wearable version of the finished look. Now, I just remembered, I forgot to say this in the intro, but I think that you can use these glitter gels in your hair. You know that like trend where people put a little bit of glitter gel like in their part and kind of blend it down into their hair? And I think I'm gonna try it because I have to wash my hair anyway. So if it looks really bad, like dandruff or something, I'm just gonna wash it out. So for the cause, which is this YouTube channel and your viewing entertainment, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna use the shade Avenue of the Stars because that was the pink one with the largest pieces of glitter in it, and I think that'll show up the nicest against my hair. So I'm taking a Real Techniques pointed foundation brush. I'm just gonna dip it right into that glitter, get some on the brush, and see what it is. Okay, that actually goes onto the hair a lot more easily than I was expecting it to. Huh, would you look at that? Not only is that easier than I was expecting, but I don't hate the way it looks either. Like, I don't know that I would place it this way necessarily, but like, if I was gonna like wear my hair half up and like tie part of this back, I don't know, it might look cute for a holiday party or something. I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can see it a little bit better. Like if I have my hair slicked down and like pulled this way, I don't know, I think it could be cute. But I also noticed that it's like moving a lot. It doesn't stick into the hair very well, so I would definitely need to like spray it in place with some hairspray too. I feel like maybe on a one-time occasion I might use something like this, but I do think it looks really cool in the hair. And it was a lot easier to put in my hair than I thought it would be. It does need some spray though, because it is definitely falling all over my pants. So to add a little bit more of a creative twist to this look, I want to do some freckles that kind of resemble falling snow. So what I'm gonna do is create some traditional freckle-shaped freckles with a white eyeliner, and then I'm also going to add some glitter that's shaped like actual snowflakes, a little bit of a hive on my eyebrow. Please ignore the redness on my brow. I get that sometimes when like I'm tired, which I'm so freaking tired today, you guys. But when I'm really tired, I get like a hive in the end of my eyebrow and it doesn't go away usually until I ice it. What's kind of fun, I think, about this particular way to like jazz up a look is that it gives the illusion of something being more creative, but it doesn't require a tremendous amount of technical skill. So I like to throw those things in there now and then for you guys, because I know not all of you are looking to spend your entire life practicing to do creative makeup looks, but you still might want to do something like a little bit more out of the box. So that is what we're doing today. So I'm going to be using my Suva Beauty Hydro Liner in the color Space Panda. This is water activated. I just sprayed it with a little bit of Fix Plus to activate it. You could just use whatever setting spray or just plain water, whatever you like. And I have a little Makeup Forever eyeliner brush. I'm just gonna dip in there and just start doing a little speckling of fake freckles. One of the keys, I think, to making little freckly things like this look good is to make sure that you make them random enough looking, and also to kind of like switch up the sizes. So like don't make them all like one complete uniform size. Kind of just makes it look a little bit more organic. Obviously it's not gonna look natural, but more natural in the sense that like it doesn't look like, I don't know, too perfect. Okay, now that those are done, I'm gonna grab some snowflake glitter. These are a little bit larger than I would like them to be. Like ideally I would like smaller ones, but I couldn't find any smaller ones than this. So I'm just gonna put a couple of dots of lash glue. I don't like to put too many because once they dry, I can never find them again. And then I just have random dots of lash glue on my face that I never use for any reason. One snowflake, place it down over one dot of the glue, this thing there. I'm just using my little lash tweezers to do this. And this is the more creative version of the finished look. So, to sum up my thoughts on the stuff that I bought from the ColourPop Holiday Collection for 2018, the Chasing Rainbows palette, I am very impressed with this palette in general. It is 15 shades and it retails for $20, which is a really good price. It's not quite like a drugstore price, but it's definitely on the more affordable side, especially for 15 like really vibrant shades. You get a really good variety in here. And there are shades in it that kind of allow you to create a full look. So you don't have a matte black, but this shade down here, Prism, is deep and dark and matte and allows you to deepen up your look. There are transition shades, there's a highlight shade. So along with those pops of color, you do also get the necessities, which I think is huge in a colorful palette. For me anyway, I always really appreciate when a colorful palette has the other things in it that you need to make a look. The matte pressed pigments performed beautifully. They blended easily. They were super pigmented. Like I mentioned in my James Charles palette video, the best way to work with shades that are super pigmented like that is to pack them down and then blend the edges very carefully instead of blending back and forth over the whole thing, because when it's super pigmented like that, it doesn't have as much binder in it, and what you wind up doing is picking it up and moving it with the brush, which is not what you want to do. You want to just move the edges of it, so it's a little trickier to work with. But that being said, I didn't really notice these being very tricky to work with at all. So of the pressed pigments that I've been using recently, this is one of the easier ones to work with. And as for the glitter gels, I really like them. I think they are absolutely beautiful. I actually kind of I like it the way it looks in hair. I feel like maybe with an updo it would look really pretty. It kind of has like a little bit of a 90s vibe. I don't know. I like it. I don't think I would use it in my hair often, but it looks kind of fun. It looks pretty on the skin too. I could see for a holiday party using it to like highlight your collarbone with like a chunky glitter or something. My only gripe is I do wish that they were approved for the eyes, because I really do like a chunky glitter on my eye look, and I would prefer if it was something that was safe for me to use on my eyes, so I didn't have to exercise such caution, and also that I could like make looks with it and show it to you guys and feel comfortable telling you guys that you can recreate it, because I don't feel comfortable telling you guys to put glitter on your eyes that is not eye safe. That being said, I love glitter gels as a concept. I always have. I love it in eyeliner form. I love those tubes I used to buy from Ricky's back in the day. Glitter gels are the easiest way to use glitter, but if you're looking to be super extra and put some glitter in your hair or on your body, or I don't know, wherever the hell else besides your eyes that you might want to put these, I think you'll like these. I think they're fun. I like that there are different colors and sizes of glitter in there. I do wish that not every color had holo in it. Not because I don't like holographic glitter, but just because I wish there was a little bit more variety between them, but whatever, that's just personal preference, I guess. If I had to recommend one of these products to you, obviously, I'm gonna go with the eyeshadow palette. I think the palette is really great. Since we're talking about what their intended use is actually, I just looked it up on their website, because being that this is a pressed pigment palette technically and not an eyeshadow palette, I wanted to see if any of these were not eye safe. And the color Manifest here is said to not be recommended for the eye area. Usually with eyeshadows, it's different than glitter. It's not like a health risk. It's not going to hurt your eyes or anything, but it might stain. So just FYI, I know some people had complaints about that with the James Charles palette. I haven't seen any staining with either of these so far, but it is possible. So just so you know. The only complaints I have about the eyeshadow palette actually is that I just feel like it's a colorful palette, and they just put it into a holiday collection and said, hey, here's our holiday palette, and it doesn't really feel like holiday to me necessarily. Even the name doesn't feel like holiday. So let me know in a comment down below, do you feel like that's a holiday palette? Because if they didn't say that it was, I would have never in a million years guessed that this was their holiday collection. Maybe the glitters, but definitely not the palette. So yeah, leave me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on that. Also, let me know, have you tried this palette? Have you tried other ColourPop palettes? What are your thoughts on them? I would love to know that as well. Would you wear glitter in your hair, or do you think it's like shiny dandruff? Tell me that too. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, because that helps me out and I always appreciate it. And also, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, because I would love to have you around for more videos. There are going to be tons more holiday collections where this came from, so I would love to have you around for those. If you would like to keep up with me between videos, I am at Miss Quinn Faith on all other social media, but the one that I use the absolute most is Instagram. I update my stories all day. I do my PR unboxings over there. I run a lot of polls. We talk about what videos I'm going to do next. We just, generally do some Q&As over there, find out like what you guys are interested in stuff, and just, chat and have a good time and be buds. So come find me over there if you'd like to be part of that. I think that is all I have to say for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found something helpful here today, and I will see you in the next one.